Alright, y'all. I already know some of you think I am out here wearing the cleanest free EMANNY cape. And listen, you might not be wrong, but if there was ever a moment to stand behind him, it was definitely this Patreon episode. What should have been a simple, straightforward conversation, like a quick 1+1, somehow spiraled into chaos and went left out of nowhere. And let's be real, there were multiple moments in this episode where you could feel the tension building, like people are low-key getting fed up with what's being said to each other on that couch. Earlier, I even made a post about calling a spade, and that was tied to the E.J. Johnson interview with Carlos King. Long story short, the biggest headline from that whole sit-down was E.J. saying he dates straight men. Yeah, you heard that right. So the crew tried to break that down as best as they could, but you could tell everybody wasn't fully comfortable. EMANNY kicked things off basically saying he was going to sit this one out because anything he said might come off disrespectful. Paraphrasing, but you get the point. Then everybody else started chiming in, and it really felt like Joe, Melissa, and Mark were kind of aligned, like they understood EJ's perspective and how that wording might land differently depending on who's hearing it. And I hear that angle too, especially considering EJ was talking to Carlos King, who's also part of that community. I get all of that, trust me, I do. But listen, I'm not gonna lie, I was right there with Ice on this one, because when he said what he said, I promise you I was thinking the same thing.
Listen, Manny, Ice, they were all standing on the same side with this one, and I'm right there with them, no hesitation. Words matter, period, and you can't keep twisting them like a Rubik's Cube just to make them fit whatever narrative you want. If somebody tells me they're straight, I'm taking that at face value. No confusion, no gray area, no maybe they mean something else. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So yeah, I completely understand why people would be confused hearing a gay man say, I only date straight men. Like, hold up, what are we really saying here? And mind you, that's coming from me as a straight woman. Love who you love, do your thing, but we still gotta call it what it is. The fact that some people in that room couldn't grasp where Manny was coming from, that threw me off a little bit. He wasn't doing too much, he wasn't crashing out, he was just giving his perspective. And last time I checked, everybody's allowed to do that. And let's be real, you could feel the energy through the screen. Half the room was definitely side-eyeing him. We saw it, we heard it, it wasn't subtle. If you're sitting down for an interview that's gonna go viral, you gotta be mindful. Your words carry weight, especially when the public is gonna dissect every sentence. And yeah, I know that whole words have meaning line gets overused, but in this case, it fits perfectly. At the same time, I get why they were moving carefully. These are public figures, and Mona even admitted she lost a ton of followers over something she said before, so they're clearly trying to walk that tightrope. Now Ish and Ice, they backed Manny, said their piece and kept it pushing. And honestly, I don't blame Benny for checking out toward the end either. Sometimes you just gotta disengage and protect your peace. Watching that whole segment, I was like, wait, did it really need to go this far? But hey, it's a conversation and everybody was fighting to be heard. So at the end of the day, do what you want to do. People might look at me sideways for this take and I'm cool with that. And Manny, if you're hearing this, we don't think you're crazy and it definitely didn't make you look wild. Now while we're on him, let's talk about it. Manny is making it really clear he's not about to be anybody's punching bag anymore. He's setting boundaries, and if somebody talks crazy, he's ready to check it. Doesn't matter who it is. And yeah, he said something similar last summer, but back then, he was letting a lot slide. Now, not so much. I really think this is bigger than just podcast energy. I think he's moving differently because he's building something of his own. He's got his own platform now, his own business, and it feels like he's stepping into a rebrand. Like, whatever you thought you knew about me, yeah, erase that. That's the vibe he's giving, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. He's done with the old games, the goofy energy, all of that. Finished. And one thing about Manny, he stands on what he says, and for the most part, he backs it up. That's why his recaps hit every time, like last week. Now, let's not ignore this either. Mark is starting to rub people the wrong way just a little bit. You could feel it creeping in during this episode. Manny checked him on some of those jokes, and the whole room basically agreed that Mark is low-key campaigning hard for Potter of the Month. And listen closely, Mark was throwing slick little comments at Joe throughout the episode, like, it's not my pod yet, I'm just trying to bring you back in. It was subtle, but if you caught it, you caught it. I get it, that's his style, But you know Joe hears everything, especially on the playback. And Freeze? Yeah, he wasn't trying to be attached to certain takes at all. Meanwhile, Ice and Joe straight up said they're not listening to Manny on that topic. Like, come on, that's like asking a non-drinker for tequila recommendations. Make it make sense.
Listen, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I've been in my spicy bag all weekend, like really outside with it. And trust me, he's another one y'all better keep an eye on too, because the energy, yeah, it's spicy on the main and even crazier on the Patreon. Quick sidebar, Ice playing that Snoop Dogg and Sexy Red track months ago as a sleeper, yeah, that makes perfect sense now. He's been outside with that vibe. But overall, I can't lie, this was a solid episode. I actually enjoyed it. I just couldn't shake the feeling that them not really understanding Manny's point of view was a little off to me. Now I will say this, Mona held her own on both the main pod and Patreon. She did her thing. People always say he can't take a joke, but from what I saw, he actually rolls with the punches pretty well. That Napoleon Complex convo? Oh yeah, they were cooking him, and he still played along with the jokes about being 53 in the 12th grade and all that. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Low-key, there's some underlying annoyance in that room, and even if it's not real, it definitely comes off that way on camera. But listen, I'll be watching everything. Facial expressions, body language, all of it. And that stuff doesn't lie. It tells the real story every time if you pay attention. Now let me hit y'all with two quick ones before I dip. First off, they gotta chill by calling Parks a real one like that. Because that awkward silence we got today, whew, that was loud. Like what is he even supposed to say at that moment? He's stuck either way. Say something, it's a problem. Say nothing, it's still a problem. You can see it all over him. My guy's flustered every time. Second quick hit. Who y'all think is taking Potter of the Month next? Because listen, Joe is not letting that chain go quietly. I'm talking, I went to grab my other AirPod, didn't even look at the screen, and I already knew he was tapping that chain on the mic. Like, come on, that's branding at this point. Ain't nobody wearing that chain with more pride than Joe, let's just be real. Oh, and before I get out of here, I gotta share this with y'all because it means a lot to me. That video you see on the screen right now? Yeah, that was my 100th upload. 100. Not counting shorts because those don't hit the same, they're just clips. I meant to tell y'all earlier, but it slipped my mind. So do me a favor, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, go ahead and pat yourself on the back real quick because you've been part of this journey with me. Every single like, every comment, every subscription, it all matters, for real. And it's crazy because I almost didn't start this channel. I had all these excuses in my head, thinking nobody would care to hear a woman's perspective on the JBP since it's such a male-dominated space. And yeah, maybe some people still feel that way, and that's cool, I'm not for everybody, but that mindset didn't last long, and I pushed past it and got to work. And guess what? There are a lot of women tapped in just like the fellas, showing up every single week. So I just wanted to build a space where everybody could come together, drop their thoughts, and really talk about what they're seeing, like a community vibe, you feel me? Just another spot to share opinions and catch different perspectives. And quick sidebar, when I go back and watch my old videos, man, I'm cringing hard. The growth is real, I'm telling you. But that's part of the process, and I embrace it. So as always, drop your key takeaways down in the comments if you're rocking with the content. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm out.